Hello there, welcome to episode 31 of SWA Podcast, and we've got another news episode for you today, where we're just going to run through the highs, lows and creamy middles of the WWE the last 2 weeks. New Japan had a medium-sized show earlier today, and obviously Fastlane is coming up this weekend. I'm Reese. Joining me, as always, is Harry. Say hello, Harry.
Hello, Reese. You alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. You okay? You good?
Yeah, good. Yeah, all good.
Alright then, so let's get stuck in. Let's start with, there's so much. WWE, it's very rare that a week goes by where something doesn't just happen in WWE these days.
Well, they seem to have crammed in about 2 months of backstage bollocks and storylines on television into about a fortnight.
Yes.
It's actually quite scary how much has happened.
Yeah, it's the road to WrestleMania. That's why.
They have another 6 weeks to that.
Yeah, but we're on the road, aren't we?
We've got another 6 weeks of road. We've had 5 weeks of road before this.
I think stuff's a little bit clearer now, but we'll get into that bollocks in a moment. Yeah, right. So obviously, first very big ticket item is Roman Reigns is now in remission from his latest battle with leukemia. This was wonderful. I'm very much. I think I don't want to sound silly, but I always got the impression that he would be back. Obviously, it's horrible what he's just gone through over the last 4 or 5 months, and don't diminish his suffering in any way. But I think people like Meltzer and other people seem to hint that it was mild or whatever, but it doesn't change the fact that he's back and it's awesome. They seem to be slowly pushing him back into the weekly rotation. But yeah, he's back. Did you watch his promo?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I'm very happy that he's back. Cannot understate it enough. It's nothing to mock or demean. It literally is blood cancer. It's a very serious fucking illness.
Let's get to that, actually. Good point, because if you go on Twitter, I know Twitter's usually a garbage fire anyway, but if you go to Twitter and search Roman Reigns' work, there is an unhealthy amount of people that think this was a work just to get him over.
I know. WWE have been trying to fight the stigma that wrestling fans are not all complete idiots, and yet you have people that... I mean, I don't get how you can have this mindset. I know the WWE has done some very nefarious and horrible things in terms of stories, but this was something that obviously this is a bridge they would never cross in terms of what they would push. But nah, I don't understand how anyone could look at this with all the background information that's come out since his reveal of his diagnosis, that anyone could think that this is a elaborate work of the WWE writing staff to get Roman over.
Can you just imagine Vince McMahon sitting there with his furrowed brow, sitting in his makeshift office in the probably the 30th arena that he's frequented this year so far, and he sits there and he just goes, "By God, I got it! Cancer! Give him cancer! Let him beat cancer, and he'll be over." Because some people think that's what happened.
Insanity. The most normal thing would be Vince's own father died of cancer.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's an incredibly fucking devastating illness. The fact that everyone is pointing to say, "Oh, he hasn't lost his hair. Oh, he doesn't look like." Oh, it's fucking idiots. Absolute fucking idiots. There's no other reasonable way of putting it. It's just idiocy.
Yeah, so apparently that is easily explained by... Not that I don't want this to turn into a fucking Roman Reigns leukemia conspiracy theory debunker episode, but he had a form of leukemia that could be treated with like some kind of pill. I don't think it was like full-on chemo or radiation, but it was something akin to that, but pill form,
Yeah.
It's
Bottom
just
line, cancer is a incredibly difficult illness because there's so many variations of each type of it. All cancers can be treated in different ways, and despite the fact he's had blood cancer ultimately, which is not something to write home about. He's been very fortunate that it is something that's actually treatable and it is in remission. It looks like, for all intents and purposes, he looks great. So, thumbs
Yeah.
up. Very glad to see Big Dog back. We and you have been like singing his praises for what feels like fucking forever.
Well,
He's been
yeah,
severely missed on that roster.
we got over the whole I don't like Roman Reigns kind of thing.
He can't wrestle, guys. He can't wrestle.
I think it took me a good 10 years to get over John Cena, whereas with Roman Reigns, I think I got over that in about a year and a half. So, yeah, you're right. We're very big fans of Reigns on this podcast. You know, we don't need to talk about how he needs to go heel or whatever. It'd be cool to see it someday. It's probably not going to happen anytime soon.
No, I think that's long gone now. It's very hard to push the guy who's beaten cancer for the second time. He's now going to be heel. Obviously, anything can happen in the WWE, Michael, but you know.
It's fun on Friday night, Maga. Yeah. So he's back. It looks like he's in a program. So
he's wrestling this Sunday.
He is wrestling this Sunday. We'll get to Sunday. We'll do our usual. I say our usual. Our second rundown.
Can of Coke on the line.
Can of Coke is on the line, so get your predictions ready. Although we'll just go through it in a bit. Yeah, so he's come back. Did you notice that personality-wise, they appear to be obviously, I very much doubt they're going to script his "I'm in remission" speech. But I'd very much like it if they allowed him to kind of be how his persona on the mic since that speech, or he seems to be playing. He doesn't seem to be playing Roman Reigns a character. He seems to be going out there and being himself. All of the y'alls that he kept saying during his speech, I thought that was quite endearing.
He comes across as very natural. I know he comes across very natural, which is which is an unfortunate thing in the WWE where everyone comes across like fucking androids because they have their key points they have to hit, otherwise the old man will get really pissed off. So it's quite refreshing to hear someone sound human.
Similar to Daniel Bryan, he was always hit over the head with the he's not very good on the mic stick. Whereas, when he's not acting a character or trying to be the cool big dog, he actually seems really quite charismatic and
he doesn't have to
natural.
He's not been told by the crazy old man he's got to say "suffer and succotash," son.
Oh God, yeah.
No, exactly. Can you imagine if he said something like that and the thing would be like, "Oh fuck, there comes the booze."
Sucker and succotash, y'all. I'm in remission. Oh.
He knew it was so bad he had to wink at the camera like, I got it, Vince. Look how fucking bad it was.
Yeah. Yeah, so as part of this, Dean Ambrose, as we have previously discussed on a previous episode, is still, at the time of recording, he's still leaving. There are rumours that he's now changed his mind, but I think they're bullshit. So, yeah, we seem to have Roman's back, and we seem to have got ourselves into a fairly, hastily, quickly booked Shield reunion, because there will be no Shield reunion at WrestleMania, because obviously Seth is against Brock, and apparently all mention of Ambrose on future dates ends after WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it seems like this is the last pay-per-view that the Shield can reunite, and they have on Monday just gone. Yeah,
cash in on that Shield money before they don't get any more options. Obviously, we have no idea what Ambrose is doing post WrestleMania, whether or not he's taking an extended break or if he's going to another company. But it's the right call. It's a feel-good moment at the end of the day. But the other question, obviously, is being raised as to what exactly is Roman doing at WrestleMania, if he's fully match fit.
Apparently, it's Corbin.
Ooh.
So
I'm going to do a Mr. Plinkett. Oh.
Oh.
I thought maybe they could do... I know this is going to sound a bit hypocritical, but maybe have Dean turn on Roman at Sunday and then have Dean's final match at WrestleMania against his friend and then send him packing.
I thought that would be a good feud, but I think the fact that even for WWE logic,
Yeah,
turning Dean heel, then
then
turning Dean
face.
face, then heel again on a dime, I don't think would be a good smart move.
No, and the other hand is at least Corbin is universally disliked, character-wise, not personality-wise.
You know what? He could even
Yeah,
squash him, to be honest.
yeah, he's fucked already. So you might as well. Corbin can always be rebuilt. I imagine Ambrose at this point is probably not even going to make an appearance at WrestleMania.
I reckon he will. I reckon he'll probably be in a battle royal or something, or who knows.
God, that'd be fucking his final WrestleMania appearances will now be on the kickoff show.
Well, yeah, but that's what happens when you leave. They don't. Only WCW under Bischoff seem to give people leaving a decent send off, which he always says on his podcast that it's because business is business, and burying people on the way out just wasn't something he thought about. But that's what Vince does. So there you go.
It's the old wrestling logic of you got to go out on your back at the end of the day. It's just whether or not Vince is not really above just not giving you a fucking payday at the end of the day. And he's got such a stacked roster at this point. I mean, unfortunately, it's like as we were discussing on maybe last episode or episode before, it's like there's so many fucking guys that could be potentially missed off WrestleMania because that roster is so congested.
You say that about Vince, but do remember that it's pretty much confirmed that had Roman not come back this week,
if Roman never left, it was going to be Roman and Dean at WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But
that was the original plan.
After Roman did go, the most recent stuff that Dean was advertised for at Fastlane was probably getting squashed or buried by Nia Jax. So let's not say that the old man is getting nicer in his old age, because I think I'm not saying Roman saved him from a burial from Nia Jax, but I'm just saying that was a plan at one point.
True, completely forgot about that. But then again, that aggressive streak in Vince. Did you see the billionaires list?
No, what's happened now?
Guess where Vince ranks above. Who's his arch nemesis? Who's the other billionaire that he always thought of himself as the underdog against?
Ted Turner.
He ranks higher than Ted Turner.
Isn't Ted Turner? Oh, Ted Turner's dying, isn't he? Or he's dead?
No,
did he die?
No, he's not dead. He's not dead. He's very ill.
Yeah, hasn't he got cancer or something?
I think he has. Another morbid thing. Bottom line, Vince's mean streak has managed to not only outbuy his competition, but beat Ted Turner. It took about 35 years, but he's managed to do it.
Oh, he has dementia.
Something really bad.
Lewy body dementia, yeah.
That's really fucking bad. But
yeah,
anyway, circling this all the way back to Roman. Very glad to see Big Dog back.
Yes. Awesome. And I'm sure it won't be long until he's back on the main event scene, and it'd be nice if he could just fuck Brock off. That would be nice.
Oh, I'd love that. But they did sort of prelude to the fact that on his big return promo, he was talking with Seth and stuff, and they did. It's not like he injected himself into the title scene, which I thought, thank fuck, because this, again, wrestling fans are so fickle nowadays. They just don't allow any forgiveness and any hint towards, that. I think it would have killed like some of his momentum or positive reception. But give it a few months. If he's fully recovered and stuff, then fuck it. He's never lost he had to give up the belt. It'd be great to see him and Seth have like a friendly competition against each other for the championship. I'd love to see what would happen. Yeah, SummerSlam or something. Be great. But that's just implying if old Seth manages to beat the Beast in the least hyped Universal title match since the title's creation. So,
no, good point.
I can't even see it happening, folks, at the moment.
Yeah, well, we'll get there soon enough. Right, let's try and talk about this fucking Raw Women's title stuff.
Oh, here we go. I've been looking forward to this because I know me and you have probably quite different opinions as to how this is going.
Well, yeah, okay. So let's just get to where we are now, right? So Becky's supposed to fight Ronda at Survivor Series. She gets injured. She does some good promos, and obviously the invasion of Raw kind of sets her up to be this big fan. She was always a fan favorite, but it kind of elevates her a bit. People get hyped for her and Ronda. It doesn't happen because Nia Jax potatoes her, and she got a concussion and a broken orbital or whatever it was. Anyway, doesn't matter. So they start the build there. Build. She's the SmackDown Women's Champion. It's clear that plans have changed, and it's Ronda. And it's being looked at Ronda and Becky at WrestleMania. We get to Royal Rumble, and Becky loses her title to Asuka, but then she wins the Royal Rumble. She last eliminates Charlotte, and now we start the bollocks. So at the Royal Rumble, she gets injured. Don't know if you saw one of the latest Botchamanias or the one that covered the Royal Rumble, but she did the old Giannetti thing where she hurt one knee and then started selling the other.
Oh God!
Yeah, one of my favourite kind of botches. Anyway,
all the greats have done it. I think even Austin's fucking infamously done it as well.
So she's injured. She's got a knee injury, which means that she kind of loosely gets taken out of the Mania match against Ronda, because obviously she chose Ronda when she won the Rumble. So you got Triple H and Steph are kind of being, I suppose, face-ish, because they kind of give her the match, don't they? But then Vince comes along and says, no, fuck you, Becky. Charlotte's going into the main event against Ronda because reasons. There aren't any. And so...
I'll let you go.
I mean, this is such bullshit.
I will try and defend the WWE, but I'll let you go.
Becky's on crutches and she attacks them, and she kind of gets suspended, and she gets a title match taken away. All this is going on. There's some very amusing back and forth between Becky and Ronda on Twitter, where it's kind of, well, I was going to say skirting the lines of kayfabe. It's completely smashing kayfabe.
Someone smashed kayfabe.
Yeah. Turns out it's probably a work because it's, of course it's a fucking work. People thought it was real, but whatever.
Oh, Vince is probably he's probably screaming and shouting.
Yeah. This is all leading to Ronda basically demanding that she face Becky because Becky's just annoying her so much. But no, we don't have that. Ronda threatens to relinquish the title, although they say abdicate, on Raw every other fucking word, because that's just one of his favourite new words. So now what's been set up for Fastlane on Sunday is Becky, the Royal Rumble winner, has to beat Charlotte, who hasn't won fuck all to get this spot, to get into the match to make it a triple threat. It's just so arse over backwards.
Okay.
It shouldn't.
Can I?
You do your bit.
I'll try and do my bit. Okay. So since Ronda Rousey joined the WWE, and since Charlotte beat Asuka's undefeated streak, so basically WrestleMania last year, everyone has known that in the back of their minds that the WWE will be pushing towards a Charlotte Ronda match the following WrestleMania, because it's going to be the ideal. It'll be the WWE's hand-picked women's wrestler versus the outsider who's like super popular and has had like the best match at WrestleMania and has basically got them the massive television deal.
That was the initial talk, yes.
At SummerSlam last year, Becky Lynch gets fucked over by Charlotte because of the WWE's inept booking, and she's supposed to turn heel, but the crowd loves Becky, refuses to accept that Becky has done a bad thing, and is firmly behind Becky. And then she manages to win the women's championship because she's literally the hottest fucking thing on SmackDown at the time. She gets injured, as you mentioned, with Nia Jax, and is taken out. So everyone forgets this when she handpicks Charlotte to, go against Ronda in her place. She gives her the hug. I fucking remember this. I know that no one else does.
I do, yeah. Now you mention it.
Oh, you do? The match with Ronda and Charlotte is fantastic, even though it is literally a case of they pasted out, they cut and pasted out Becky in place of Charlotte, and Charlotte turns heel during it. She does the big beatdown. It was so obvious that it was supposed to be Becky doing that.
Yep.
At this point, and I believe Meltzer as well, the WWE knew that Becky's the chosen one, and she now needs to go into WrestleMania. But the WWE, in their attempt at kind of blurring the lines between kayfabe and backstage bollocks, decides to play along with it. So they have Becky lose her SmackDown Women's title in the December to get, so they can set up with her and Ronda later on. So Asuka wins it.
I don't have an issue with her losing to Asuka. I thought that was quite well done.
That was well done. She wins the Royal Rumble, albeit they could have gone the route of saying, "Oh, you've replaced Lana."
No,
it was only fucking Finlay who.
That shit happens all the time.
They could have done that though. They could have done it. They could have said, "Oh, you wasn't supposed to be in the match." Didn't decide to do that. The WWE has attempted to again blur the lines, and they know everyone wants Becky to win, and everyone deep down wants it to just be a singles match. But they've decided to let Charlotte have a payday and probably make the match a little bit easier, because ultimately it means Ronda doesn't have to carry as much of a load, because it's now shared between 3 great women's wrestlers as opposed to 2 great women's wrestlers. Charlotte is the clear-cut heel because she's literally the authority, in this case Vince's chosen champion. She's the clear-cut one.
She isn't so much the heel anymore, but please continue.
Obviously she is, because all she does is brag on SmackDown as she's going to headline WrestleMania against Ronda.
Ronda's definitely like a fucking faux heel now, though.
I think no. See, like Becky, in my opinion, is like the anti-hero, but she's obviously face similar to Austin. The comparisons are definitely there.
Becky's Brian from WrestleMania 30.
That's true as well. So like this entire storyline is like a weird amalgamation of Austin's Attitude Era entire run, minus when he turned heel at the end of it, and Brian at WrestleMania 30, but the difference is Becky will do bad things and still get good reception for it. Like she beats the shit out of everyone standing in front of her, but fans love her because it's Becky at the end of the day, and she's still they still think she's long overdue a lot of revenge. Ronda is still face, kind of, because the whole point of Raw, where she abdicates the title, so like, no, you've got me fucking saying it, relinquishes or gives up the title, is supposed to be a face move, because it's like, oh, well, Ronda wants to face Becky more than anything. That's quite a noble thing. I think the storyline's great. I think the WWE have somehow managed to make what on paper 2 months ago sounded like a fucking disaster, where it's like, no, we just want Becky and Ronda. You don't have to add a third wheel to this bicycle. But instead, they've somehow managed to make it into like a well-crafted tricycle. That's a terrible analogy, but wrestling fans, fuck it.
I don't think they've. I don't think the way they've done it makes any sense.
The other thing you have to point out or look at, they have an entire pay-per-view, which is this Sunday, to continue this build. They're not going to have Ronda wrestle on it.
No, but they could have easily done this another way, and it make a lot more sense.
How would you have done it? Because ultimately, this is now boiling down to they've taken away. The old man has taken away Becky's thing because he finds her not suitable for the main event, similar to Austin. He puts his hand-picked person into it and gives it, which is not the first time they've ever done this bollocks with a Rumble winner.
It's not the first time they did it that week in TV. He did it with fucking Owens with the SmackDown title as well.
Yeah, exactly. See, like that.
It's too much.
It's not unheard of.
All right, I'll tell you what I would have done.
Go on,
it doesn't even mess up the booking that much.
Okay.
I stopped putting fucking Becky on crutches so much, because she was on crutches again all this week. But it's going to get to the point where after WrestleMania comes around and she clearly wins the title, people are just going to be moaning about how she's not even selling her knee anymore.
All right, Alvarez, fucking hell.
No, I'm saying these are the arseholes that are going to be doing this shit. It's no different. Again, Bryan had the whole shoulder thing at WrestleMania, and then he was fine the second he fucking won.
I know, but they just want to add a little bit more doubt as to whether or not Becky can beat Charlotte, and it also gives her a way out where if she does lose this Sunday, if she was 100%, she could have taken her.
You could do this whole favoritism of Charlotte thing so much easier, right? You could have had Triple H fucking playing up to Flair on his birthday as part of that stuff as well. Oh, I'm the authority and I'll give you whatever you want for your birthday. Oh, I want Charlotte. Oh, okay, there you go. You could have done it so that the injury would have been played up a little bit on Becky's part, and they put her in as like a penciled in thing. Like they said, all right, well, she's the backup plan, and then Charlotte manages to talk her way into the match at Fastlane, where if Charlotte wins the match at Fastlane, she gets added to the match as a triple threat. Therefore, the finish will be her doing fuckery, cheating her way to a win, further adding more babyface fire to Becky. And you're looking at a thing where she's going to win at Fastlane, then she's going to win at WrestleMania. I would have quite liked to have seen her she wins the Rumble for the big pop, she gets fucked over at Fastlane, and then that builds to the even bigger win at fucking WrestleMania. I have a feeling that this is all because basically they don't want Ronda to tap out at WrestleMania. I hope she does. I think she might. I don't. I just got a feeling
I don't think they're going to have Ronda tap out. I think
well,
protect
I think
her from submissions.
Apparently, her last night in the company at the moment is still scheduled to be the Raw after Mania. I think if that is the case, I don't think it would damage her character much if she was to tap out.
No, but I don't think they would do it for some reason. But then again, that's me putting. Maybe it's entirely possible they'll swerve me and go like she won't lose via pinfall. But
also,
her first clear cut loss is going to be a big fucking deal. But also, the other thing to point out as well is I know that's been the rumor and innuendo for fucking months now that Ronda is definitely leaving after WrestleMania, but plans could change.
I don't think they are in the case.
I don't think they're going to, but they could change. I mean, weird as shit's happened. Brock is still here. That's the benchmark of terms of longevity. That's or negative longevity.
But also to me, big WrestleMania matches are single matches. And that's just purely my personal preference.
I think that's more nostalgia, though. I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying.
But I want it to be a singles match. It's like we've discussed before. It's like the whole WrestleMania 2016 thing.
Oh no! Don't talk about.
No. It's just as an example. We got.
I know that's the right example, but you got to think WrestleMania 30 was a successful one because they had the triple threat match. WrestleMania 20, despite the fact that it's a fucking extremely dark chapter now that we're not allowed to talk about, had a triple threat match.
Yeah, but I don't particularly rate either of those matches, to be perfectly honest.
I think that's just nostalgia.
Don't
get me wrong, like 2 months ago I was quite like similar thing where it's like it should be a one-on-one match, they're inserting someone who doesn't need to be there. But it does work because at least now they can protect Ronda because ultimately the dynamic probably doesn't work with Vince where you'd have Ronda who's supposed to be this baby face and Becky who's an anti-hero. Ronda will just get booed out the building. At least now Charlotte's there to take the heat.
Maybe. I think they're both going to get booed out of the building. Well, not bad. No, sorry, that's wrong.
Why is it New York, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I imagine so. That's a big fear, but I think because Becky's got such good momentum, you'd like to think that it would supersede them, doing... I'm getting WrestleMania 20 flashbacks with... I mean, it was... They fucked it over for themselves anyway, but Brock and Goldberg...
Yeah.
20 minutes of you've sold out this same old shit and all the other stuff. It's hilarious, but it's a big fucking deal considering that this is still potentially the actual proper main event of WrestleMania 35. We agree to disagree.
Well, I don't think we disagree on. I think we agree on the fundamentals. I think we just you're fine with the build.
I'm enjoying the journey that this storyline is taking. I acknowledge it could be better in some regards, but I think otherwise it has been a very solid storyline. There is a lot of elements to it. They could have maybe stripped back on it, but ultimately they've got fucking 5 hours to kill every week on the main program.
This is true. One other thing about this though. This is 2 SmackDown women vying to get a shot at the Raw Women's title as well. That needs to be mentioned.
Oh no, well, Blue Brand isn't going to get any love until Fox gives it a kick up the arse and then demands that they be given the all the prestige.
Murdoch got Brexit, so if he wants SmackDown to be a bigger brand, he's probably going to get that as well.
I thought Murdoch didn't want Brexit.
Of course, he fucking wants Brexit.
I don't think he wanted Brexit. The podcast has taken a very dramatic.
What newspapers does he own?
Oh, that's true.
And what do those newspapers want?
all the non-whites out. Sorry.
Anywho, right, let's move on.
Yeah. There's still loads of wrestling, folks. Stick around.
Yeah. Kevin Owens is back, and he's been inserted into the WWE title scene, much like Charlotte has been inserted into the WWE title scene.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Do the same storyline.
And the SmackDown version of Becky Lynch is Kofi Kingston. So Owens against Bryan this weekend at Fastlane. That should be good. Kofi's probably waiting in the wings because Kofi's probably going to get the Mania shot, you'd imagine, right?
I told you it was going to happen, folks.
Yeah,
the
you're
iron
right.
is hot. Kofi's got the fucking momentum. It's WrestleMania, baby. Give him a feel-good moment.
I hope if he does become the champion, he drops all of the New Day stuff.
I think it would be them. Again, my fantasy booking, it'd be like they'd be in a faction, do it for 4 or 5 months, and then have the New Day not respectively, but just break up. Someone breaks out and becomes a top level heel, and then you've got two.
Big E.
I know it makes the most sense, but on the other hand, it's like Xavier's. I always think back when New Day was in that weird fucking positive gospel thing, and he's wearing the glasses, and he's like, "We should all team up," and I'm like, "Oh, he's got the brains behind it."
Oh, you mean events around it? You mean New Day version 1, which was the gospel thing before New Day?
I don't understand, guys. I mean, positive black people. Why are they not getting over?
Before New Day version 2, which was, "Hey, do you like Dragon Ball Z? We love Dragon Ball Z.
Have you heard of Final Fantasy? I've got a trumpet. It's going to be the most over thing in the fucking company."
I think you'll find it's a trombone.
Oh, fuck off. You're annoying about your wooden. Oh, fuck. Never mind. I was going to say wooden. I was going to say wood. What's the name of fucking wood instruments? I'm really showing my true colours about how.
It's not wood, it's brass.
And I know. Well,
what you should have said was, "I know how to blow on a flute," or something like
that. This is why I do wrestling podcasts and don't achieve anything else with my life. So, that's not to demean you, by the way, Phil.
Oh, don't be silly. Anyway, right, so Owens is back. That should be good. Fastlane. Talking of returns, Batista has returned. He's
that fucking nose ring, Reese. Oh my god,
I liked it.
Every time he comes back, he's got a new little thing. He had his blue pants last time, and now he's got a nose ring. It's so good.
Yeah, so he's returned, murdered Ric Flair, challenged Triple H, Batista, Triple H at WrestleMania, which actually sounds quite good if you ask me.
It was such a well fucking filmed angle.
Yeah.
It was so different from the normal WWE thing.
I really liked the the cameraman picking up Batista, dragging the other cameraman to film.
Yeah,
I really liked that.
That's what I like. Because what was it? It was in someone's podcast. It might have been Bischoff, or it was either who we're going to be mentioning in a second. Either Pritchard or Bischoff said, "When I'm doing backstage angles, I like to have a reason as to why the cameraman is filming it in the first place."
Yeah,
so if you've actually caught by chance another cameraman filming another cameraman being dragged by a wrestler, it makes sense.
Yeah, so the returning Bruce Pritchard was apparently responsible for this segment. So there you go.
He's been rehired as a consultant to Vince after spending 2.5 years being it is definitely the most popular wrestling podcast on the planet, isn't it? By quite
I don't know.
Reasonable margin.
I think Conrad owns like 3 of the top 5, and probably Jericho's probably in there as well. And then
I forgot about Jericho. But then again, Jericho was probably the breakout one that made this in the first place. But on the other hand, I don't know anyone who actually listens to Jericho because it doesn't wholly focus on wrestling as such anymore. And then there's Austin, obviously, as well.
This week's Jericho's podcast is about the Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot film that was... Remember that one?
No. What?
No,
the one with him walking past?
Yeah.
The one where it's like, I can see a Casio watch. Oh no.
That's a Simpsons gag, but yeah.
No, I wanted a little callback.
He's done an episode about that this week.
Well, I'm fairly certain Something to Wrestle is the most popular wrestling podcast on the planet.
He's a heel, motherfucker.
It's such a good fucking show. I don't give a fuck what people say.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Take it with a lot of salt.
Mm.
And the fact that for 2.5 years, Conrad has basically said he will not say anything negative about Triple H, and we all fucking know why. And it's got him a fucking job. So fair dues to Richard. He was right
Yeah.
to stick to his guns, as
Mm.
long as he doesn't bring said gun to the arena and threaten to shoot someone again.
Again, yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Right then. The NXT call-ups have taken a sad turn.
Oh fuck.
So Tommaso Ciampa has apparently he's been working with this neck injury since the new year because apparently he's only worked 5 non-televised matches all year, which obviously shows you that he's not on any house. He hasn't been on the house show loops or anything extensively. He's only doing tapings and takeovers. So yeah, he's apparently they were going to try and get him to take over on WrestleMania weekend, and he's not going to make it. He's had to have surgery on his neck, and the prognosis. No one. So I think Dave Meltzer has gone with 6 to 14 months as his initial prognosis, but no one knows quite the full detail on what he's had done. It's just he's fucked basically. So that probably means that the NXT title is being held up, and obviously the DIY main roster stuff is probably going to go on hiatus for the foreseeable. I don't see them keeping Gargano there on his own. I think he'll go back, probably have a mega run with the title.
You think he'll go back to NXT after debuting?
Well, he's already in NXT, remember, so he will be at TakeOver. I think you said the other day a great idea would be Adam Cole against him at TakeOver.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm under. Do you know the tape? Do you know the NXT taping results? Because I do know what was the last set prior to this coming out, which was
the Dusty Classic stuff. No.
Yeah. So you know what happens with them too.
Yeah.
Okay. I think they're due one more set of tapings, which is literally going to be the final stretch to Mania. But
yeah, I imagine that'll probably be vacating the title kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. He hasn't.
Yeah,
he's had a terrible 2 years with injuries.
Yeah, he had that fucking really bad one with the actual initial heel turn, which he had to take fucking what seemed like forever to recover. He's had a hell of a good fucking title run.
Yeah, great, yeah.
Really good. And the storyline's been great with him and Gargano. It's just, I said to you this privately, but fucking praise it. This storyline feels fucking cursed. It's like, it's not going to reach its conclusion. They had opportunities to maybe finish it, but they've extended it, and it's such a bit of a sad note to end it on. There's obviously that final chapter that was supposed to be waiting there, and it could be fucking a year to get the follow-up.
Yeah, well,
that's of course if he recovers well enough from his neck surgery at the end of the day. It's not saying a fucking he'll be back in like 3 months, like fucking Super Cena with his what the fuck did he injure in 2007? Can't remember.
What, the thing when he came back to the Rumble?
Yeah, whatever he fucking did, and they said he's going to be out for 8 months, and he was like back in 2 months or something fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't remember.
He did. Bottom line, neck surgery, folks, and Ciampa's got a history of serious injuries. So, and how old's Ciampa now? Mid-30s?
I don't know. Let's have a look.
Cheat. Dun 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 dun.
Tommaso Ciampa is 33 years old. He's got time.
Oh yeah, he's got time. That's fine. I thought he was in his mid-30s. It's just because he looks older. Sorry, Tommaso.
Yeah, no, all very sad.
Yes, very sad. He'll be sorely missed on NXT, but fingers crossed he gets a very quick recovery and he's back on the hopefully the main show at this point.
Yeah,
and then get booked into oblivion because the old man's fucking insane and can't do it properly. How would you like to be Cruiserweight Champion Tommaso Ciampa?
You ever seen that footage of him on Raw like 10 years ago?
Oh yeah, no, he's on SmackDown. He's a lawyer.
Yeah, oh my god.
And he gets fucking killed by The Undertaker. I know.
It's mad, isn't it?
I know.
You know that
Loads of wrestlers have
I
made
know,
appearances.
but you know that would have been like they rolled into town and they would have just said, "Oh, get me an
Local
indie wrestler."
talent,
Yeah,
yeah.
get me a local indie guy, and he's
Yeah,
so good. Yeah,
loads of them have done it. Fucking Roderick Strong was on a SmackDown randomly. He faced Kurt Angle like fucking 12 years ago or something.
what's the DDP one from WrestleMania? Did he drive in Honky Tonk
Yeah,
Man?
he drove in. He was in a limo. I can't
He was
remember
the
who the
limo.
fuck he was
Was it
driving in.
limo driver for Honky Tonk
Maybe,
in a Cadillac?
maybe,
Yeah, something like that.
probably.
Yeah, yeah. Bad news, but hopefully it won't. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
Fingers crossed. We're gonna miss you, man.
Yeah, Samoa Joe has won the US title.
Yeah, fucking, that's a shocker. Fucking R-Truth has been MIA for what, 2 months since winning the title, or a month.
It's interesting that there's a 4-way match, right? That they did on SmackDown.
Yeah, him, Joe, Andrade, and Ray.
Yeah, the interesting thing here is that probably the match was probably more an engine to get the Andrade Ray thing going again, more than let's put the US title on someone else, which is
Yeah, got to set up that kickoff match for a Fastlane.
yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, but yeah.
Happy for Joe to win a title.
Yeah, at least it might give him. It'll do something at Mania. You'd imagine now.
Holy shit, though! Please do something with this fucking belt, because like
It'll be pre-show.
like,
I'd guess.
holy shit! It's like it's a fucking US title.
Yeah, it's
The
a bit
mid-tier. I know it's the mid-tier belt, which sounds really demeaning, but fucking Cena and Reigns, like, they made that fucking thing mean something. And like past year or so, it's just been fucking stagnant. But happy for Joe.
awesome. Right, Tori Wilson is going into the Hall of Fame. This has boiled the piss of some people.
Oh Christ!
Personally, I think great, whatever, good for her. It's a Hall of Fame that has no set criteria for how you get in, and she's in. Good for her. I think she was. I mean, what's the point of just bullshitting around it? When I was a young teenage guy, I fucking loved watching her on wrestling shows.
I love watching her on porn.
She's been in my Hall of Fame since I was 14, so I don't give a shit. So yeah, whatever. Good for you. She's great to follow on Instagram as well. So there you go.
You've really pushed the Instagram thing. I'm very interested to see how they're going to do a highlights package. And I've said to you privately, again, raising it, I hope Al Wilson makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Fuck it, bring out Dawn Marie as well. That would be quite funny as well. What's she doing lately?
Yeah, fuck knows.
So it's just I had to watch that whole bollocks on my recaps of SmackDown from 2002. It was a very dark time in wrestling.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Good for her. King Kong Bundy has died.
King Kong Bundy. King Hon Bundy?
King Kong Bundy.
I thought you said King Hon Bundy.
No, King Kong Bundy, you goon.
That's alright. I'm going to death, sorry.
Yeah, it's a bit sad. I don't really know much about him, to be honest. I've watched WrestleMania 2 and seen old stuff with him in, but he always seemed to be like way past his best or de-pushed whenever I used to see him.
I thought he was much older than what he was.
61, yeah.
Fucking hell, ain't an age to go. I mean, there's no good age to go, but 61's really fucking young.
Yeah, very young.
Sounded like a nice guy, apparently.
Yeah. So that's a sad one.
Yeah. Again, I'm familiar with his work. I do remember. When I say remember, I've seen the OSW recaps of his WrestleMania stuff, and I remember him against, I want to say, Doink, and the fucking.
He's one of Undertaker's
early
WrestleManias. Yeah.
Again, I thought he was much older than what he was because he looked old in the very early 90s. Not to completely fucking ruin him, but yeah, no, real shame. No, again, another Hulkamania level wrestler disappears.
One of the vanquished foes of Hulkamania.
Yeah. That list is slow. The Hulkamania era is very slowly but very surely diminishing.
It is, yeah. Sad stuff.
Hmm.
And yeah, last point for this WWE stuff. Christ, 45 minutes. There's so much shit been going on.
Oh no, fucking hell.
Arn Anderson has been sacked. Dana Warrior is apparently got some kind of role on creative.
That's going to be quite funny with her and Pritchard working together, though, because after him burying her husband on every opportunity he's had.
Yeah, apparently it wasn't so much. It wasn't so much they wanted her on creative. It was more asked to. She asked for a job basically and said, "Oh, I'd like to work full time or whatever with the company." And
So wrestling fans in the future, you just ask Vince for a job. Just
well,
directly tweet him and say, "I want a job."
Russo sent a letter to Linda and got a job.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Missing a trick.
Yeah, and Arn Anderson got sacked. Allegedly, apparently Meltzer says there's up to 5 stories he's heard as to why. One of them, the popular story, is that he let Alicia Fox go out and wrestle whilst drunk.
Sounds about right. Crazy like a fox. She's been missing it for what feels like fucking forever. I think she's the longest. Isn't she the longest employed woman in the whole company as an active member of the roster or something fucking mental?
That sounds mad. So it could well be true. Yeah.
Probably it would look quite bad if it is true. Again, if rumor and innuendo is to be believed, I don't think it looked very good on them if they let a person with personal addiction problems go from the company. But who the fuck knows? Again, as Meltzer says, it's could be anything.
Yeah. Right. That wraps up our WWE update for now.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Today was the New Japan 40th anniversary show. Sorry, 47th anniversary show. As is tradition now, the main event is the. Oh wait, no, sorry. Usually they used to do junior heavyweight champion against heavyweight champion, but I've completely spoken bollocks. It's no tradition.
I thought you were the expert, Reese. How dare you?
So I've just mixed up because they did Okada Ospreay once, and I just assumed that was what they did. Anyway, so Jay White against Will Ospreay in a non-title single match as the main event, as well as Taiji Ishimori defending his junior heavyweight championship against Jushin Thunder Liger. And I think there was the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag title on the line as well. Looked like a fairly interesting show. Let's have a look at the results. Bullet Club, Bad Luck Fale, Tamatonga, Tangaloa, Chase Owens, and a name I'm not even going to pretend to say, defeated Makabe, Toriyano, Yoshida, Umino, and Narita. Ishii and Yoshihashi defeated Nagata, and Toa Henare. Kojima, Honma, Tiger Mask, Taguchi, and Dragon Lee defeated Suzuki Gun, Minoru Suzuki, Taichi, Kanemaru, Desperado, and Taka. Roppongi 3K won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag titles by beating LIJ, Shingo, and Bushi. Ishimori defended his junior title against Liger. Tanahashi, Okada, and Goto, defeated LIJ of Naito, Evo, and Sanada. That probably means Goto will get some kind of tag. Are they the tag champions, Evo and Sanada, still? Actually, no, they lost them, didn't they?
I think so.
Yeah.
You know more than me, man.
I do. And Jay White defeated Will Ospreay in that match. Apparently it was very good. And Bullet Club beat up Ospreay after the match, but Kota Ibushi made the save. So, what does that tell you about some future New Japan plans?
Sounds as if Ibushi and Switchblade is definitely happening. And it seems that Ibushi's also moved on from Omega and has found his next boy toy with Ospreay.
Yeah, quite possibly.
I was waiting for you to fucking finish that. I was like, no.
If I had to guess, I would say Ibushi will either win the New Japan Cup and it will be Jay White Ibushi at MSG, or Naito will win the New Japan Cup and it will be him against Jay White at MSG. Whoever doesn't win the New Japan Cup out of those two may win the G1 and face the champion at one of the nights at Wrestle Kingdom next year. That would be my guess, because I still think it's Naito's time with the big belt.
Yeah, it's got to be sooner rather than later, because if we feel like we've been saying this for at least 2 years now.
Yeah.
It's probably even no longer than that. It's like,
yeah,
whether or not Switchblade will be champion by then.
But Ibushi,
tag heavy,
yeah,
as usual, isn't it?
they always are until it's a big show. But Ibushi is signed on the dotted line, so that does mean that there's a good chance that in the next 2 years he will get a run with the strap. So there you go.
Interesting. What's the next major New Japan show? It's not Dominion, is it?
Well, major show.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose the major show will be the MSG show. So you've got the build to the MSG show on Mania weekend will be all of the New Japan Cup stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then MSG in April. There'll be some shows in May, but then Dominion's June, and then
That's what I was trying to remember. I was like, when the fuck is Dominion?
August is G1. You got King of Pro Wrestling in October, I believe. Power Struggle in November.
Was there a Sakura pay-per-view?
Sakura Genesis, April, yeah.
That's it. I'm trying to remember.
But that might be... So Sakura Genesis will probably be... Maybe that'll be the final of the New Japan Cup. Maybe. I don't know. Usually the winner of the New Japan Cup fights for the title at Sakura Genesis. So... There we go.
Not
there
a
you
lot,
go.
Then.
Well, it's interesting because you still got things like it's not Okada, Naito. They're in the New Japan Cup. That's a 32-man tournament this year, so that's a big deal. They're putting some good emphasis on that, which is cool. Recent years that was what Shibata won to get the match against Okada at Sakura Genesis a few years ago, where he sadly ended his career with that headbutt spot. But so there is, and obviously, who won last year's New Japan Cup?
Don't put me on the fucking spot.
He's one of us.
That doesn't fucking narrow it down.
And we saw him get his win back when we went to watch it live.
What? Sabre
Junior won, yeah.
That's it. Sorry, I'm not a fucking.
And then
you asked me to quote anything from fucking Attitude Era, I'll fucking be able to fucking.
Yeah, he lost to.
Scare release.
That was the Sakura Genesis match last year. It was pretty good. So yeah, it's a fairly big deal, and it's an even bigger deal this year because they got the MSG match for the final.
You might not even know, but I'll look it up afterwards. When is it? Because I know New Japan's a bit odd when it comes to. They don't have when I say odd, I mean they don't have Sunday pay-per-views. They have pay-per-views whenever the fuck they feel like.
What do you mean? When is it?
When is the New Japan Cup? Is it on a weekend or is it going to be during the week?
Oh, it'll run for about a week or two. So there'll be a match like every other day, basically.
Oh shit, G1 all over again.
Well, not as heavy as the G1, but yeah, it's a similar.
I'd love to watch G1, but I can't take that much annual leave to watch it.
Yeah, and also I'm so bad with spoilers that if I'm at work or whatever and I'm like, I'm not going to spoil the New Japan. I'm not going to spoil the G1 show today. It takes me about 4 minutes to fucking go onto Reddit and see the results. So there you go. So it'll run from the 8th of March until the 24th of March. So very soon. Starts this week.
Fair enough. Cool.
Yeah. Right, let's finish the show with our prediction. Well, a run through of Fastlane, and let's do some predictions. So, Harry, make note of this. Make note of our predictions.
That's all right.
Please.
I can do it. It's called just listen back to the episode and then go back the following week.
All right, whatever. So, dark match: Rey Mysterio against Andrade.
Do you mean your kick-off main event, Michael?
Yeah, dark match. It used to be called a dark. I'm sorry, dark match just means Sorry,
pre-show main event.
Pre-show main event. Go on.
Fuck. Was it No, who the fuck took the pin on Tuesday? Andrade?
Yeah, from Joe, yeah.
I'll say Andrade.
Yeah, I think he'll win as well. Okay. Yeah. Looking forward to that. That should... I personally thought they could have done this at Mania, but, whatever.
Yeah, so did I, but fuck it. Look what else is on the card. Obviously, it needed to be swapped at some point, like the next match.
Yeah. Right, the Revival are going to be defending their Raw Tag Team Championships against Aleister Black and Ricochet and Gable and Rude in a triple threat match. Who you got?
Well, obviously, two of these teams are complete randos, so naturally the Revival probably won't win. I'd say, with all their momentum going, I'd say Black and Ricochet.
I want them
know,
both to succeed.
I know what you're going to say. It's like, oh, wait, which fucking team, which shouldn't be together, should win the Raw Tag Team titles?
I'm going to go with the Revival.
Okay.
Don't know why.
They've been shit on enough. They're long overdue some sort of, establishing moment in the WWE, despite the fact that they're the fucking tag team champions. Did you see that tweet? I think it might have been Dash. He was like, 2 weeks ago, we requested that the Revival get a full championship entrance on Raw, and then retweeted himself. Sorry. Oh, fucking hell. Please get these two to AEW. They need to. It's not fair.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not. Right, continuing. Asuka against Mandy Rose, women's SmackDown Women's Championship.
Mandy's fucking great. Asuka's fucking great. Oh. Asuka.
Yeah, I'll go Asuka as well.
Yeah.
Surely it's better to have Asuka as the champion at Mania than Mandy Rose. That's not a dig at Mandy Rose.
You'd think, but we don't fucking know how this thing works anymore.
Yeah. The Usos defending against the Miz and Shane McMahon, the SmackDown Tag Team title.
Usos.
Yeah, because we need something. Yeah, Usos, because we need the Miz and Shane McMahon to dissension in the ranks so that we can get another great match from Shane McMahon at WrestleMania, no doubt.
He'll do his spots like he's been doing for the last 2 years
in
every match, so they've kind of diminished them.
Yeah. Boss and Hug connection. Bailey and Sasha against Nia Jax and Tamina, Women's Tag Team Championship.
Fuck.
I'm going to go Bailey
really
and Sasha. They can't lose.
I was going to say that, but I was like, because they've just been on NXT, so surely you'd think there's no way they're going to drop the title in their first defense. But then again, they seem to have like a really big chubby for Nia Jax, so
yeah, I reckon they'll retain.
Yeah, same. Boss and Hug connection.
Yeah. Right, let's get to the big guns. So the Shield, Ambrose returning Roman Reigns and Seth against Corbin, McIntyre, and Lashley. Who's going to win this one?
Oh, fuck. Now, this has actually thrown me off. You'd think Shield, again, momentum going, but on the other hand, Dean is leaving.
Yeah.
So one of the other three could really do with pinning a former WWE champion. I'm going to go against the grain, against my better judgment, and say Corbin, McIntyre, and Lashley.
Interesting.
And Dean will eat the pinfall.
Yeah, I'll go with the Shield.
I think my heart is. I'm going to do truthiness. My heart is telling me the Shield.
Yeah.
But logic means someone is leaving the company, so naturally he should not be winning. So yeah, I'll go Corbin, McIntyre, Lashley again.
Yeah. So. Daniel Bryan defending his biodegradable, lovely hemp WWE Championship against the returning Kevin Owens.
Bryan.
Kevin Owens is doing the stunner as his finisher now. It isn't terrible. Yeah. It isn't terrible, but it isn't good. Just going to put it out there.
Oh, no, I think it's... no offence, poor Cena after that springboard nonsense. Anything afterwards seems miles better. I like the stunner. I still think it's good for Owens.
No, I like the... but I don't like the way he does it. He does it in a really weird... Like, bringing them... Their head. Oh, it just isn't like the old Austin.
He's doing it the way Austin used to do, which was actually grab your head and bring it down and stun you.
You know what it is?
As opposed to the kick in the stomach, then stun you.
People aren't taking the bump on their knees. They're staying on their feet and kind of just bending down. That's what I don't like about it.
Everyone is doing the cane bump, except you're not 7 foot tall and you can't go on your knees.
Yeah, but the Austin one where they would take it. People would always take it on their knees. Always looked better.
Yeah, no, that only. But you have to bear in mind it was only wrestlers that were around his size. If they were much bigger than him, they couldn't get on their knees, so they had to do it like in that weird crouching position.
Yeah, you're right. The Kane one used to be like that.
Yeah, the Kane bump. But no, I like the stunner, but Daniel's retaining.
Yeah, and presumably the main event: Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. If Lynch wins, she will be added back into the WWE Raw Women's Championship match that she should never have been taken out of in the first place at WrestleMania 35. Becky Lynch all day, please. Don't add
You
it.
actually think? See, I'm going to spice this up. I'm going to say Flair is winning via shenanigans, and they're going to have like a last gasp match on fucking SmackDown or Raw to pop a rating.
Jesus,
Can you imagine if this is a main event? Flair wins, and there's a match that has to follow afterwards, and everyone is absolutely fuming. See, look, Troll Me's like, they've got to do it that way. They've got to do it that way.
You
got to get Charlotte her heat.
Oh, we'll see. I disagree. Just give Becky the win.
I know. Well, the crazy old man will do what he thinks best for business. What if they think Becky really can't win, and then she wins on Raw, and we get a 1.8 rating?
Yeah. Put the main event at the end and have a 40%
hour
drop,
which no one wants to watch. I know, fucking hell. Why is Raw not just a 2-hour show at this point?
Yeah. Well, because USA pay silly money for 3 hours worth of content every week.
Yeah, they're fucked now because if they as Def of WCW rightly pointed out, when WCW went to 3 hours and then Russo in his first action was like, "Bro, we gotta go to 2 hours," and it's like, okay, you are aware your rating then has to go up by a third for it to be economically viable. And he's like, okay, bro, no worries. And it's like 6 months later, the rating is exactly the same, if not worse. Well, bro, you know what I'm saying? I tried my best. Goodbye.
Right then, that's Fastlane. So we'll discuss. We'll run this back next week with a review of the show. And
are you looking forward to this pay-per-view?
Yeah, I think it'll actually be pretty good.
I'm hoping so. The card actually looks quite good.
It looks really good.
As long as it's 3 hours, the show does not need to be somewhere like 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
That's my main concern. Like matches going on for like 45 minutes. That 6-man tag team match is screaming that. Even though Reigns, I'm thinking maybe they'll keep him like really safe.
Yeah, I reckon that's probably.
And Seth's obviously still fucked as well, isn't he? So.
He had his back problems. He hasn't wrestled, has he? So yeah, you're right. I think.
No, that's why the Universal title match looks so dire.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Episode 31 in the books. Thank you, as always, Harry, for joining me on this quest to wrestling podcast stardom.
Yeah, we're gonna make it. Get that sweet Patreon money.
Oh, fuck right.
Remember, you can get our bonus episodes free on Patreon, but only on like the upper tier, which is $20 a week.
$1,000 a week.
We'll give you a shout out in the credits. So thank you. You raped your dad for your generous donation.
Oh god, when people read out Patreon.
I know their fucking usernames. Cringe city. Yeah. We'll do it though. We'll do anything for money.
Of course we fucking fuck that.
We're not above it.
We are. We're not. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for listening. As always, this will be on YouTube and SoundCloud and iTunes. Just search for Smartsville Attitude. Could you check the Gmail actually? So smartsvillattitude@gmail.com. It's a goodbye from me, Reese, and it's a goodbye from you, Harry.
It is a goodbye. Thanks for listening, folks.
Thank you very much. Toodaloo.